Good evening, folks, and welcome to our second live stream of the season, where our panelists will share with you their stories and experiences with different campus clubs, organizations, and activities. My name is Howie LeBlanco, and I'm one of the admissions council at Champlain College. In a second, I would turn tonight's programming over to our host, Zainab. But first, I want to take a moment to remind you that tonight's broadcast and the one last week are available on our admitted pages of the Champlain websites and on our blog, champlainadmissions.champlain.edu. Please utilize the live chat box available to you tonight to ask our panelists questions. Sit back, think of questions, and enjoy the live stream. I will return at the end of the panel discussion with more information on the upcoming live stream, admitted events, and ways to stay connected. And with that, please welcome Zainab, your host for tonight.
Hi there, everyone. Welcome. My name is Zainab Mackey, and I am a business administration major, and I'll be the senior admissions intern hosting tonight's live stream. I want to take a moment to let tonight's panelists introduce themselves. So please give me your name, your graduation year, major, and the clubs or organizations that you are a part of. We can start off with Adam.
Cool. Hello, everybody. My name is Adam Ferrante. I currently study computer and digital forensics here at Champlain. My planned graduation is going to be the fall of this year, so fall 2019. Currently, I'm an officer in the Champlain Digital Forensics Association, as well as the Cybersecurity Club here. And I think that was it.
Awesome. Thanks, Adam. And Caitlin?
Hi, everyone. I'm Caitlin. Oh, the lights in my room went off. Okay, hi, everyone. I'm Caitlin. I'm a junior at Champlain, and I'm a law major with a minor in social justice. I play rugby, and I'm also the treasurer of the women's rugby team, and I'm also an intern at the Peace and Justice Center.
Awesome, thanks, Caitlin. And next we're gonna go with Kenneth and John.
Hi, I'm John. I will be graduating in 2019, so coming up. I'm a student activity programmer here on campus. I've been doing that my last 4 years. And my major is business administration with a minor in event management. So I'm pretty passionate about events.
I'm Kenneth Bufford. I am the first year representative for the SGA. I am a student activity programmer, and I am the president and founder of Purposeful Dissonance Acapella Club on campus, and I am a law major.
Awesome. Next we're gonna go to Maddie and Jillian.
Can you hear me now? Okay, hi, I'm Jillian. I'm a senior professional writing major with a journalism specialization and a communications minor, so I'll be graduating in May. What I'm involved with on campus is I work with the Center for Publishing, so pretty much all of our different publishing initiatives on campus, like our literary magazine, our online news site, we have a wellness magazine, other things like that. That's what I'm involved with.
And I'm Maddie. Hi. I am a third-year management of creative media major with a specialization in film, broadcast, and streaming media. I will be I said I'm a third year, but I'll be graduating in May 2020, and I'm representing the Champlain Theater Club.
Awesome, thanks you two. Next we're gonna move on to Trey.
Hi, I'm Matthew J. Cox. I'm a business administration major. I'm graduating in 2021. I run the Esports Club on campus, Champlain College Esports. I'm also an RA and running for SGA.
Cool. And lastly, Quinn.
Hello. Am I up yet? Yes. Oh, wait, you just don't see your own face. Okay. Hi, I'm Quinn. I'm a senior professional writing major with a journalism specialization and a foreign language minor. And I am the director of clubs for SGA, which is the Student Government Association. I also wear a number of hats with different jobs on campus. I'm a member of the dance team, and I also am the news editor for the Champlain Crossover, one of the campus's publications.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody. A lot of really cool organizations and different places where students are representing. So let's start off with a couple questions. So how did you go about finding the organizations that you are a part of? We can start off with Maddie.
Sure. So I was actually sort of roped into the Champlain Theater Club through a Facebook post. The stage manager at the time, Robin Diddums, he had reached out on my class page actually and said that he was looking for stage crew, which was something that I had a lot of experience in. And I showed to the first meeting, somehow ended up being stage manager and then president. So that was sort of my journey into it.
And Jillian, you can go ahead too.
Oh, okay. Let's see, how I got involved with the Center for Publishing. It's kind of weird. For my technical writing class, I wrote a proposal to bring back the Champlain crossover, which is a student news site. And it was sort of just, I didn't really plan to actually bring it back. I was just trying to do my project. But the following semester, the head of the writing program and the head of the Center for Publishing reached out to me and they were like, hey, this seems like a thing we could actually do and we'd like to actually make it happen. So they roped me in to bring back the crossover, and now we have the website, champlaincrossover.org. As a result, I did my senior internship with the Center for Publishing and worked on all the other publications too.
That's really fun. We're going to go to Caitlin next.
So I found out about rugby through my roommate first year, Madeline Willonis. She encouraged me to go, and finally second year I ended up going to a practice, and I was pretty nervous because it's rugby, which is pretty intense, but right away I found a second family and I really loved it.
That's really sweet. I love that. And then we can finish a question off with Kenneth.
I'm in an interesting predicament where my club existed on campus, but I wanted to create a different alternative version of the club. So I went to the SGA and started the process of getting a club approved, finding members to join the club, and started going so forth with the idea of if it's something that you want to do already on campus, you can start your own and make your own new club if you want to.
And I have always had a passion for events. Since I was younger, I just ran my own soccer camp for 3 years, and I found out there was a job opportunity on campus through the job fair on my freshman year, and there's a really awesome team of SAPs, and I just have been doing it my whole time here.
Cool. So yeah, kind of jumping into events a little bit. What we have, again, a variety of different clubs. We also have Kenneth and John, who are student activity programmers that do events as well. So yeah, do you have anything more to say about your events with student activities then?
Well, we try. Basically, our events run Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Thursdays, they're off campus, really exciting events. It rotates between free movie nights, free bowling night, and free trampoline night. We call it Get Air here. And so Thursdays, they're more of a get off of campus, go do something exciting with your friends. It's free. Just sign up at the hub that week following up to it. And then Fridays and Saturdays, we run events later in the evening, something for people to get out of their rooms, usually the time people finish doing their homework, a lot of times when the dining hall is closing as well. We'll have events. Last week, we just ran popcorn tasting on a Saturday because the dining hall closes early. So we try to have food events on campus for people who want to go onto campus later at night and want a little bit of a snack and to be able to hang out with some other kids on campus. A lot of times you can meet new friends there. Then Fridays, a lot of times we try to do craft events or like we did our Mario Kart tournament. Then the winner won a $50 GameStop gift card. So it's a lot of events that just get people out of their dorm room, something to do on campus, and gives you a chance to really meet some people on campus that you might not actually know yet. And it's a really fun thing to be doing.
And top of that, on Mondays, we also host events in a commuter lounge for commuter students to also get them engaged and feel a part of the Champlain community, because aside from the commuter lounge, there was nothing really keeping them on campus. So we host programming in the CCM commuter lounge. That could be hot chocolate making, it could be a pancake bar, so on and so forth, just different things that get our commuter students more active in our school community. And the group we're speaking about is student activity programmers.
Awesome, thanks so much. Yeah, the student activity programmers do a lot of really awesome stuff that they just talked about. I go to the events pretty often. And let's hear some more about some club events too. So Adam, do you want to talk about your club's events?
Yeah, sure. So I'm actually covering 2 clubs, so I'm going to go over both, I guess, pretty briefly. So I guess the one I'll start with is the Digital Forensics Association. We have a tongue twister of a club name, so excuse that. But really what we are is we study digital forensics outside the classroom. So a lot of what we cover can be educational. It could help people get jobs. So we've brought in guest speakers and stuff like that in the past that actually work in the field. And we have them come talk to students. And some of those students actually end up getting interviews with the companies that those people work for. So that's a lot of fun. And then we actually have a Capture the Flag event coming up, which is basically a hunt for different artifacts, is what we call it in forensics. Just kind of like little fun games that the classes don't cover that people want to see on the outside. And we're all student run, so basically it's anything that people want to see that is not covered in the classroom that may interest them. So we can help facilitate that and discuss it outside. The second club is the Cybersecurity Club. And really that has a lot to do with anything that's just of interest to people. I mean, just as any of these clubs can be. We cover a lot of educational topics, a lot of hands-on stuff. So it can be learning Linux or learning certain things, again, that are not taught in the classroom. So that's kind of a general overview, but it's really anything that is relevant to digital forensics or cybersecurity that people want to hear more about. And it's also just a great community to be part of because we can all bounce ideas off each other and present topics that we are unaware of or want to learn more about.
Awesome, thank you. That's a lot of cool. I've been to a couple of events before. A lot of very interesting.
Yeah.
Trey, do you want to talk about your club events?
Sure. So I run the Champlain College Esports Club, and we kind of have 2 big parts of our club. We have competitive, and that's basically playing against other colleges, playing against other colleges in the area in live events and online. And that is, you try out for it at the beginning of the year. And there's going to be stuff for that posted online and on the club fair. And then we have our event side, and we run Lan Parties bi-weekly, and we also run a bigger Lan Party early November-ish for Extra Life, where we actually raise money for the UVM Children's Hospital nearby. And yeah, we like to have everyone come. The Lan Parties are a great place to like make friends and hang out together. And then the competitive side is a great place to like really make a community outside of the classroom and outside of your hall.
Awesome. Thank you for your answers, everyone. I just want to give a reminder to anyone watching right now, any students watching, that if you have any questions for our panelists, feel free to comment in the live chat and we can do our best to answer them. We actually do have a question from the live chat. First one up. Is there a conservative club? Quinn, do you want to talk about clubs, that kind of club, that question?
Yeah. So we have a large variety of clubs on campus that are basically meant to support and represent a variety of viewpoints. And if there isn't a club that represents your point of view already, it's very easy to start one. You just need a total of 10 club members and a faculty advisor. And we actually had a Republican club start this semester. I've been working with them over the past couple of weeks on getting started up. So it's rules where all clubs have to be inclusive of all students. So as long as you follow that, as long as you're inclusive, if people are interested in your views and want to learn more, you have to let them do that. But the line is, of course, obviously we want everyone to feel respected. So it's really important to give everyone the opportunity to be around like-minded individuals, as long as everyone's also being respectful at the end of the day. So we have a variety of clubs that represent things from like Republicans and Democrats, to we also have a number of clubs for various religions, in addition to the more academic extracurricular clubs.
Thank you for that answer. Awesome. So next question we're going to go to is actually resident hall events. Trey, do you want to talk about res life events?
Sure, Simon. So as an RA on campus, all of your RAs are going to have to do a bunch of events for you and your hallmates, and they're open to everyone on campus. So they will do engagements, which is an event to bring you somewhere on campus or somewhere in the greater Burlington area and kind of get you comfortable with the area. There's community builders, which is going to be you and your friends working, doing whatever you want, basically, whatever you want your RA to run as an event, they'll do. Personally, I love it when my residents come to me with events. They wanted to play Magic a couple weeks ago, so we had a Magic tournament. And we've done a bunch of other stuff that's just like kind of off the wall because that's what they wanted to do. And then there's also educational events where we try to take a fun kind of twist on learning something about the environment or social responsibility or a bunch of topics that we like. And then there's also area-wides where a group of RAs get together and host an event for the greater campus community. And that's just another thing to do. We did a dessert bar last semester, and this semester we're doing a trail mix bar. I know someone else is doing karaoke. So RAs are also hosting a lot of events on campus. If that's something you're interested in, there's going to be posters around your halls and you can talk to RAs.
Awesome. And just to make sure that everyone watching does know, your RA is your resident assistant. They're really the person in charge of your hall when you first get here. So they interact with you on a daily basis, and Trey is one. So yeah, we are going to move on to our next question. What opportunities have you all had through your organizations? Do you want to start with, let's start with Quinn.
Yeah, so I'm a member of the Champlain College dance team, and so we meet twice a week to learn choreography, and we also do units where the students can actually create their own choreography and teach it to each other. So we all like grow as dancers ourselves as we're keeping up with that. Most of us danced before, but that's in no way a requirement, and also get to like practice choreographing and learn that way. And then we also do performances. So every fall semester we do a music video that's on YouTube that normally we get a decent amount of views on. And then we also do performances on Champlain and in the greater Burlington community. So for example, like 2 weeks ago, we did a charity performance in downtown Burlington at Main Street Landing, which is a black box theater. That's called Puppets for Education. And it's a charity show. And it's really cool because we perform alongside a lot of other local dance companies, but there's also dancers who travel from out of state to come and participate in this charity event. So we get to see other styles of dance and like, you know, be part of something with other artists as well.
I love that. I love community involvement like that. Cool. We're going to go to Kenneth next.
My experience at Champlain in my short years being the first year, my acapella group is heading to Hartford, Connecticut to compete in the ICCA this weekend. And I think that this is a wonderful opportunity that Champlain has definitely helped us come to fruition with. I also know that with the SGA, that I'm a part of, Student Government Association, we take trips to visit other schools, other colleges and universities in the greater Burlington area and discuss with them how their school systems work. And yeah.
Awesome. Let's go to Trey next.
So I've actually had a lot of opportunities presented to me. Probably one of my favorite ones is working directly with the Burlington Telecom marketing. In my role with Esports Club, I've really gotten the opportunity to work and directly with the guy that runs Burlington Telecom Marketing and talk to him just about his job and what we can do for him as as someone who sponsors us. And he really like gives me a lot of insights into what like a marketing job is, which is something that I want to pursue with business administration. And then we've also sent a lot of students to tournaments. So the most recent one would be Lan ETS. We sent, I believe, 8 students to Montreal for the weekend to participate in Lan ETS, which is just a gaming tournament up there. And aside from that, we do a lot of things related to intercollegiate events as well as finding sponsorships. So just a lot of outreach into the community and other businesses. So yeah.
Awesome. Okay. And we can end this question with Adam.
Cool. Yeah, so I guess I'm kind of taking opportunities at a little bit different light, at least for our clubs, because they're more academic focused. So that goes for like networking opportunities with employers and stuff like that. At least the Digital Forensics Association has had a lot of speakers from the industry come from the outside and speak. So that definitely opens doors for people that you can connect with. A couple of people have gotten jobs through that at this point. So it's a really good thing to be a part of. If you come here on your first year, you can get connected with alumni even that have been in the clubs and have graduated, and also the guest speakers that are coming to talk then.
Awesome. Yeah, I've had a similar experience even like with conferences and things like that. Even having been, fun fact, I was actually in esports with Trey, so I relate to that as well as going. I was able to go to Game Developers Conference too, like related to esports. Yeah. So our next question is, what are our residence halls like? What do they have, and what might you need to bring? I can actually take this one, answer it. And if you have any more questions about residence halls as well, we will be having a live stream on April 3rd. I'm admitted now what? So you'll hear a lot more about what the halls are like and all of that kind of information around then. But briefly, our residence halls, in your first year residence hall, in your room, you're going to get, your bed, you have a dresser, you have some kind of hanging space, and you have a desk as well and a chair. So that's kind of your own room. And then in your common rooms, if your hall does have a common room, you'll have like a space to sit and hang out. And different halls have different features. As far as kitchens, some of our halls do have kitchens that are generally for students that come from further away. And yeah, and I think there was an add-on question if there are any, so I mentioned there are halls that have kitchens. Is there a way that students can cook if they're not in a hall, such as a cooking or baking club? I don't believe there's currently a cooking or baking club, but you are able to, if you have a friend that lives in a hall that has a kitchen, you're able to, hang out with them, bake or cook with them. That's what I did in my first year. I had a friend that lived in a hall one day when I really, really, really wanted to make mac and cheese. So I went over to their hall and we made mac and cheese. So you have those kind of options. And like Quinn had mentioned, if you do want to start a cooking club, you'd be able to work with our SGA and start that, like Quinn had mentioned, with student signatures and a faculty advisor. Cool. Does anyone have anything else to say about that? No? Cool. Okay. So I think the next question we're going to go to, what is your favorite event that's been held at Champlain in any capacity? Student run, staff or faculty run, resident assistant, speakers, anything like that. I don't have any specific person, so if anyone wants to jump in. Let's go with Maddie.
Great. So I'm probably going to take this moment to talk shamelessly about my own club, because the Champlayers every semester will put on a production. In the fall, we'll traditionally put on a bit of a smaller production, more of a sketch style. And then in the spring, so currently even, we're putting on a larger scale production that's more like in the past we've done the last phase of Judas Iscariot, and we're currently doing the complete works of William Shakespeare abridged, which is a fun, zany show. So I personally lean more towards the performing arts sort of events. Like going to the improv shows is absolutely hilarious because they're just wild. But also even going to the dance showcases that I know Quinn is a part of are also super entertaining, just to like go hang out in the auditorium and support your peers. So for me personally, those sorts of performing arts styles, I guess I am super biased because I'm in theater, but those sorts of events are really great and are also free admission. So.
Yeah, one of my favorite events that we have on campus every year is in the fall. We always have like a spirit week, even though we don't have any divisional sports. Everyone still gets really into all the school spirit stuff, and we do a stoop decorating competition. That's really fun. All of the halls get really into it and decorate their front stoop based on a theme. Like my first year, it was Disney themed, so all the halls decorated their stoop with like a different Disney movie. And I remember last year's it was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory themed, and we like set up the whole stoop. We made like lollipops and stuff, and we had candy everywhere. And it was super fun. So, and it's always fun to walk up and down and see all the crazy different decorations that all the halls have. And it's a really great way to build community too. Everyone gets to know each other as they're like putting construction paper all over their hall.
We get super into it.
Yeah.
Fun. I love that. We can go to Caitlin next.
So with rugby, I've actually had a lot of opportunities to play games in the community with other colleges like UVM, Middlebury, and St. Mike's. So just that is a great way to be involved in the community and have a lot of fun. We also have a prom dress tournament coming up on March 24th. So if anyone's around, come out to UVM and see us all playing in prom dresses. That is just, I'm so excited for that. And also a side note, my favorite SAP event is Terrarium Night, where you get a little cute cactus and you get to decorate it. It's a little home.
I love that event. I just made one this last Terrarium Night. Oh, so fun. Cool. So next we are going to go to Kenneth.
So yeah, Terrarium Night is a super fun event, definitely. One of my favorite events that I've always loved to attend here, which is a really cool event, is the Rail Jam. That's usually set up in Finney Quad. The Champlain Ski and Ride Club does that. And it usually gets people to compete. It gets a lot of people to cheer on a lot of their peers as well. And that's usually in the beginning or the end of the first semester. Usually we import snow, but it's a really fun event, and Champlain Ski and Ride does a really good job putting it on. I know Kenneth has another winter event.
SAPs also do winter weekend. My favorite event had to have been us going tubing at Killington Mountain. That was so much fun. It was amazing. Winter weekend is basically this weekend in which we do a lot of winter events. There was a mechanical snowboard. There was night skiing. There was ice skating as well. We did a lot of different winter events. There was make your own lip balm. We went all the way out and just tried to make a full winter wonderland for the students at Champlain's campus.
That's so fun. It's a pretty new one too. It's the second time we've done it, so I like seeing that around. And next, we're gonna finish the question off with Quinn.
Yeah, my favorite event that we do on campus is every fall and spring we have a carnival. So in fall it's part of Spirit Week that Jillian talked about earlier, and then in the spring we do this thing as exams start to approach called Spring Meltdown, where it's just like a fun event that's really meant to help you de-stress. And there's a giant carnival that we have in the quad where there's going to be like arts and crafts, and there's like food, and then they also bring in like inflatables. So there's like jousting and like bounce houses and things like that. And with my friends, we compete every single semester to try and just like see who's the best at every single different inflatable. And it's something that I look forward to every single semester.
Those are always super fun. And the t-shirts, love them. Cool. So we have another question from a viewer. How does one join in on management for clubs and not just participate in them? Let's go with Trey to start.
Thank you. So it really depends on the club, I think would be the answer for this. But as far as the Esports Club goes, it really depends on what you want to do. There's a lot of people that want to come in and just play, but some people want to come in and manage a team and get that experience under their belt because that's something they're interested in doing in their career or else otherwise. So they just come in and make that intention clear. And I think that while that may not be true for every club is kind of small enough where you can talk to the leaders and everyone on campus is approachable, since none of the clubs have thousands of members or anything like that, because we aren't that big of a college. So a lot of people are really easy to talk to. And if that's something that you want to do, just talking to people is always a good option.
Totally agree there. Cool. Let's go to Caitlin next.
So as I said, I joined rugby my sophomore year, and almost right away I was treasurer of the women's team. And I think that just happened because there was a need for it, and I was motivated to run fundraisers and work on marketing and work with the coaches. And I still am treasurer of the women's team, and we have an executive board. That's how we work for rugby, where anyone can come to our meetings and we vote in positions, and if anyone has any ideas, they're always welcome to talk to anyone on the e-board. So management is really easy to get into for a lot of the sports here too.
Awesome. And we'll go to Kenneth and John next.
So I know that with SGA, we have a lot of leadership opportunities from the beginning of the school year, with the first year representatives being elected and so on and so forth. It's not just that. I know that every club on campus is supposed to have leadership positions, and so you can definitely run for those. That's under, again, SGA Club, but that's just clubs on campus. Our club had trainings that Quinn helps facilitate because she's the director of clubs, and we try to make sure that everyone gets included and gets to do what they want to do, no matter what club that they're in.
And as well, if you really are passionate about events and managing events as well, that was kind of my situation, excuse me, as well as Kenneth's. So we seeked out actually the job of being a student activity programmer. Not only do we plan these events on Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays, as well as Mondays, but we also have the opportunity to work with the SGA and a lot of other clubs that host events. Sometimes they want help running a larger event. Sometimes they just need volunteers to help at their events, whatever it may be. But definitely if managing events and running events and getting down to the logistics of stuff like that is something you like, looking at, trying to apply to be a student activity programmer is definitely something you might want to look into when you come on to campus here.
Cool, thank you. And I think we can wrap this question up with Quinn.
Yeah, so you've heard already from a couple different club heads. And the thing is, every single club is kind of run a little differently depending on what works best for that organization. So from the SGA standpoint, we need to have a couple different people who are willing to be in contact with us so that we can guarantee that each club meets the requirements of attendance sheets, and there's someone responsible for spending budgets who we can ask if we ever have questions about receipts and finance matters. But we really don't enforce any structure onto the club and let that come from the membership. So there are clubs that hold elections and have executive boards. I know the dance team, for example, we just have a captain, and the team itself votes and nominates that captain at the end of each year. But then there's other clubs who they've been, especially newer clubs, you see a lot where the person who founded that individual club is the go-to point of contact for the first year or so. And then once they're more comfortable with the organization, we'll start bringing other people on. But it's really what the club wants it to be and what works best for those members. And so if you're part of a club and you want to be part of running it, the best thing to do is talk to the current club leaders and just let them know that. Talk to the faculty advisors too, and start helping out, and then you'll become a natural fit for being a leader.
Awesome. I loved hearing about all this, especially I personally have been involved in a lot of different clubs and my time at Champlain, a lot of which in management, but there's something I want to emphasize too, that it's awesome just to be like in a club, just to be a club member, because, you know, that's why the club exists. That's something I really have had to appreciate too. Cool, we have another question. Talk about professional clubs that enhance your professional skills, knowledge, and expertise. How about we go to Maddie and Jillian?
Great. So, do you want to start with this question? Or?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay.
So in running the Crossover, which is a student newspaper, there's been a lot of opportunities in general because we pretty much created it from the ground up. We had to do a lot of our own research, figure out how things were going to work, talk to the administration. It was pretty much completely figured out and run by students, even though we did have the support of our faculty advisor if we needed it. We pretty much figured it all out on our own. Anyway, and it's really good because we were able to get clips from different writing things that we did that we could use on our resumes and when applying for jobs, and also just that work experience of working on a student-run newspaper or on a student publication just really allows you to like add to your resume and give you something to talk about in a job interview, all of that good stuff.
Yeah. And on a sort of similar vein, coming into the Champlain, into the theater aspect of it, it's our responsibility to entirely produce a show. So it's entirely our responsibility to like build and acquire materials for sets and, you know, rewrite the script if that's needed, to direct the whole thing, to do lighting for the whole thing. So anything like that, it's sort of our responsibility to step up to the plate and continue on. But on a slightly different note, Jillian and I and Quinn also are all student ambassadors. So part of our one like facet of our job, we have a team, committee on our team that are responsible for overseeing the admissions contribution team, which is more of a professional-based club on campus. And their specific goal is to orient students and familiarize them with not only the events that the student ambassadors run and hold an admissions holds, but also to introduce them to like other leadership positions on campus. So introducing them to the orientation leader position, the resident assistant position, if they want to be a peer coach, explain to them what peer coaches do. These are all student leadership positions that we have on campus. And in introducing these topics, in working on events for admissions, collectively they also do a little bit of training on professional behavior, both in the workplace and at an event like Admitted Students Days, which we should come to.
Awesome, yeah. And talking a little bit about more like professional stuff and that kind of experience, we are going to be having another live stream later on in the semester about student leadership and service. It is going to be held on, excuse me as I'm trying to find it, on Wednesday, March 20th. On Wednesday, March 27th. There we go. Wednesday, March 27th for leadership and service. So if you want to hear more about different leadership positions, both on and off campus, check out that. Yeah, so if there's anyone else that wants to speak on this, I want to hear, do you want to talk a little bit about flexibility and what you can, what you're able to do within a club and the freedom of running a club? I think Maddie, you wanted to say something about this.
Sure. So I know I briefly mentioned it in the last question about professionalism, but I know personally being in a leadership position with the Champlain, I know Jillian had also kind of touched on it with like speaking about publications and that kind of thing. You're able to turn to your faculty advisor if you need that support. But I know in our case, it's very much like we're on our own. Like we're doing it. It is all us. So it really is up to us to, like, we are our own directors. We are sort of coaching one another through an entire like 3-month rehearsal period. And, you know, we do all of the acting, we do, like I said, we do all the set building. So a lot of that is really cool. Like it's up to us to find transportation to Goodwill, to buy costume pieces, or, you know, those sorts of facets have been really interesting. I know it's also benefited me in my position on campus as well as in my classes, because I am now encouraged to sort of step up to the plate and to really you know, act for myself and act for my team if that's needed, which is which is really incredible. But there is also the other side of it, that if you need to talk to a faculty advisor, if you need support from the SGA, that's definitely still an option as well. So, yeah.
Awesome. Quinn, do you want to talk a little bit about it from the Student Government Association?
Yeah, and so that's definitely in terms of like how clubs are run from our perspective, from the perspective of Student Government Association or SGA. There's one director of clubs, so this year that's me, and there's like 40 to 50 clubs on campus each semester. So obviously we're not micromanaging, and that's not the goal at all of the position. We really want clubs to be about students being empowered to do activities and form groups based around their interests in the activities they like. So we work, they actually have to submit budget proposals to us, and then I, as director of clubs, along with the director of finance, and then some other students who are on a committee, will, based on those proposals, give budgets. And then we have some limitations on how budgets can be used, just to make sure that everything's like okay in terms of like you're not spending an entire budget on food that needs to also be going towards like registration fees. But other than a couple of rules from just the pure finance perspective, we try to keep all of our guidelines to be pretty open-ended, where we have the bare minimums, but let the clubs do what they need to best suit the organization to its purpose. And then of course we're always there when they need support. So if clubs ever have questions on how they can do something that they want, we're there to answer questions, but we never tell them what they have to do in terms of what kind of activities to hold. We really want them to be able to do what works best for them, because there isn't one size fits all for clubs. Every organization is different.
Awesome, good to hear. Does anyone have any fun stories or anecdotes about being in a club, or just fun things that happen in a club? Maddie?
Oh, sorry, I wasn't ready. Do you want to start?
Yeah, actually, another club that I'm a part of is the Champlain Rock Climbing Club, and a fun thing that we do once per semester is we do like a climbing overnight trip, which means that every week we go to the rock climbing gyms in the area, and we have transportation, and we carpool, and we get to climb for really cheap. But yeah, once a semester we stay overnight in the climbing gyms, and we get to like climb all night for as much as we want. We order a bunch of pizza. They have ropes courses in there, so we also do the ropes courses, like for team building, but also just for fun. And then we like sleep on the crash pads and wake up in the morning all sweaty and gross, but it's so much fun. So yeah, that's just like, I don't know, a really fun thing that we do as a club, and it's completely organized by us, and we just want to do it, so we do it.
It's like the message of most of the clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the way of the Champlainers and the theater club, it's become an odd tradition for set builds to get a bag of bread from the grocery store. And that's become like our weird little tradition. We always have snacks during our set build. Usually, in the past, we would get like pizza and get some drinks or like some chips or whatever. But the same stage manager who recruited me to be on the Champlainers, like for whatever reason, went to Shaw's and got a bag of bread. So that's become our little like quirky tradition. That every set build now we make sure to have a bag of bread, like little bread rounds for no reason, but that's just sort of like an odd little anecdote from one of the clubs.
Fun. I love that. Somehow I've never heard of that before, which is so funny. Let's go to Adam next.
All right, I'll give it a shot. So, yeah, on behalf of the digital forensics side of the house, we actually do a lot of stuff that may appeal to, I guess you could say, the nerdier crowd, just because what we do is really, it can be very technical and be very interesting. But one fun thing we did recently is actually last week, I had put this server up in just this cloud hosting instance. And I just said to the club, I said to the security club, okay, go hack this box and see what you guys can do to it. And we'll investigate it next week at the Forensics Association. So what we basically did is we took the kids who like to attack things and said, hey, go have fun with this. And then at the Forensics Association, we actually tore that apart to figure out who got in, how they got in, etc. So it's kind of like a lot of geeky fun that we just kind of do. That's one little fun event, but.
No, that's super cool. It's a really cool introduction. Wow. I actually have a fun story too. So I actually have a minor in cybersecurity, and I've been involved in our Women in Technology club as well in the past couple of years. And they do a lot of different kinds of events. That are anything from, just board game nights to homework nights to prepping for like conferences and things like that. And one night I think we were playing a board game night and I taught like 6 people how to play. I think we only could play like with 8 people, but I taught 6 people how to play Settlers of Catan. And it was so funny. It was so fun. Just like late at night, hanging out in the Women's and Gender Center on campus. So yeah, I love that kind of fun stuff. We love Women in Technology, and there's also still a Women in Business as well for those kind of women's groups within these majors. Cool. So I think there's not any other stories we want to mention. We're going to move on to our last question. How has being involved in clubs or working on these events for yourselves enhanced your college experience? We'll go down the line starting with Adam.
Oh, wow, I'm first. Okay. So being involved with clubs is definitely, I think, something that everyone should be a part of, especially if you are looking for an IT kind of related career, just because I feel like the IT crowd can sometimes be a little bit more laid back into themselves. So being a part of a club really brings people together, not just, being in one room, but a lot of good opportunities arise, especially with projects and just knowing other people that you can work with. There's a lot of talent out there. So getting to know each other, I think, is one of the biggest pieces to it. And really, I think it's a really good networking opportunity, most of all, just because we all have different interests. We're all good at different things. And yeah, it's great for that. So I guess on my personal, how it affected me, that's what it did. It kind of brought me out of my shell, got me to know my peers. It made me a lot more comfortable. And now I know a lot of people. So it's cool.
Cool. We're going to go with Caitlin next.
So being part of the rugby club has 100% improved my time here. Right away, I found a family, and I just love being on a team and having that team sport, knowing that on and off the field, your teammates are going to be there for you no matter what. It's a really wonderful feeling. Sometimes when you come into college, it's a little overwhelming, but then you go join this team or a club and you have a whole new set of friends, which is really wonderful. And I think definitely that improved my time here.
Love that. Awesome. Next we'll go with Kenneth and John.
The last 4 years, I've worked as student activity programmer, as I said, and I've done a couple other things with jobs outside of work, but I've always continued to work as a student activity programmer and stay as engaged on campus as possible. It's actually really completely changed kind of what I thought I would be doing in college, honestly. It's opened me up to a lot of different people that I would not originally be meeting, whether it's students that come to my events, students that I'm working with as my coworkers through the past 4 years. I mean, Kenneth is new, and I've already developed a bond with him and all the other new employees, SATs as well. But through the past 4 years, there have been amazing people that I've worked with. And the relationships that I've made with students when they come to the events is really something that excites me. I've always loved working at summer camp and seeing the kids progress and really appreciate what you do for them has always been cool. And being able to do that for the students here on campus and people actually recognizing and being like, hey, can you do this event sometime? I really liked that event that you did, and that's really awesome. And I've been able to communicate and engage with students that if I wasn't doing this on campus, I wouldn't even know these kids existed on campus. And it's really awesome to be doing that.
And for me, it's definitely given me a lot of, I wouldn't say clout, but a lot of people recognize me now. being in the Student Government Association, being my own president of a club, and being a student activity programmer have all been fundamental to me remaining engaged and staying engaged in the Champlain College community, because now I'm a part of everything. I know a bunch of people. It's given me new friends. I have people I can go to. I have new coworkers, new family members, so on and so forth, who I love and genuinely care about, and that wouldn't have been possible if I didn't join a club or start a club from my day, or get a job from day one of getting here.
Okay, there we go. Cool. I love all of that. I love all of this. I'm a big fan. All right, next we're gonna go with Maddie and Jillian.
Great, yeah, so I would definitely say that my college experience has been enhanced because of the groups that I'm involved with. I've definitely found a little family within the Champlayers. It's something that I started in my first year and I'm still doing and I'm still a part of in some way, shape, or form. But I've also been fortunate enough to find like a job through some of the groups that I've been part of. Last semester and the years before, I was really interested in going to the Grind Coffee House open mic night every Wednesday. For whatever reason, I was super drawn to it. And now I am working at the Grind. So it's just moments like those that really sort of add the cherry on top. But I've definitely found a lot of really close friends from those places, which is really cool.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. Like, I've met most of my friends through clubs and organizations here on campus. It's how I've gotten to know people that are like interested in the same things as me, or maybe aren't, but yeah. And found like different homes and different organizations here on campus. And in the same vein, it's helped me get different jobs, because joining clubs that you're interested in, joining clubs that have to do with what you want to do in your future. For example, working with the Center for Publishing has helped me get clips and experience that I'm able to talk about in job interviews. And it's helped me get my very first internship by putting I can't even speak right now, I'm nervous. By mainly talking about things that I did in clubs. So yeah, I've definitely enhanced my experience a lot.
Cool. Let's go next to Trey.
So yeah, I know this is kind of what everyone has said, kind of, at least in part. For me, it's been like the people I've met and the things I've done. So joining the Esports Club, like half of my friends are RAs and the other half are from Esports Club. And like also people to like bounce ideas off of, whether or not it be esports related or just personal life. Like last semester I changed my major, and having people to talk to was really amazing. And I wouldn't have had that if I hadn't had the clubs and the people from that to reach out to. And just on top of that, also just the alternative things that I've done, just kind of the random grab bags of skills that I've gotten from working with clubs, and just random stuff that I can mention in job interviews if it fits. Like I've run events and I looked for sponsorships and just a lot of really random stuff that that otherwise I really would never have gotten the opportunity to amass if I hadn't pursued clubs. So yeah.
Cool. And next, Quentin.
Yeah, so clubs have really let me, in some ways, very much take a break from my classes, where dance is a really good outlet for me to get to do something physical and very creative that isn't writing, which is something I very much love, but do all the time for school. And then dance and SGA and the Center for Publishing and the Champlain crossover have also all really allowed me to get valuable experiences that I can talk about and just broaden myself as a person. I'm meeting a lot of people through those activities that I never would have met otherwise. So like, for example, through the dance team my first year, I made friends with the film major who we actually roomed together sophomore year. Some of my really close friends I've met through doing the admissions contribution team, and they're people who have majors where we would have never had a class together. We probably wouldn't have met if we didn't have this activity in common, and now we're like best friends. So it's really great. And then also I've gained a lot of professional experience where I talk about in job interviews, the fact that, hey, I've helped manage over 40 student organizations, or look at this clip, I did a breaking news story about snow, where I literally in 2 hours did a bunch of interviews and turned around an article. Here it is, you can see it, it's published live. So it's really helped me both personally in terms of just making the most out of college in the moment, and then also in the long term with getting jobs in the future.
So great to hear. I love hearing all these stories. I've been really passionate about clubs since my first semester here when I joined Champlain, actually, in its first semester. So it's really great to hear from all of you about all that. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you for everyone that's here with us on campus, as well as anyone watching. Thank you to all the panelists that have taken time out of their day to be here. If there are any specific clubs anyone watching now, if you'd like to get in touch with, like we've mentioned, Quinn is our current director of clubs for SGA and can get you connected. Feel free to email her at sgaclubs@champlain.edu. Lastly, you can also check out our Instagram and Twitter at Champ Admissions. And for all of our admitted students, feel free to join our Facebook group. You can find it at facebook.com/groups/champ2023. But I think that actually concludes our live stream for the evening. Howie, if you want to take it away.
All right. Well, thank you, Zainab, and thank you, panelists. Thank you for sharing all the fun experiences and insights. What I'm taking away from tonight is how valuable it is to find something you're interested in, passionate about, or start something new on campus altogether. Whatever it is, get involved. Again, thank you, Zainab, for hosting tonight's podcast. Thank you, panelists, for sharing your stories with us, and thank you to all those watching tonight. Tonight's broadcast will be available on our admitted pages on Champlain's websites and our blog. Please join us on March 21st at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for our third live stream about internships and study abroad. And if you haven't registered for one of our admitted students events on March 22nd and 23rd, or on April 12th and 13th, please do so on the admitted pages on our websites. Also, as Zainab mentioned, join the Champlain College class of 2023 Facebook group. Begin making connections and building your community. So till next time, folks, thank you and have a wonderful evening.